Welcome back, True Seeker. Game 6 of the World Series just concluded. My prediction was wrong. I thought Verlander would close it out tonight. The alignment was perfect for him, but it didn't happen. And I'm going to show you what I'm looking at tomorrow for Game 7, November 1st. And I'll give you definitive proof of just how scripted this game was tonight. It couldn't have been any more scripted to a T. I said we'd likely see a winning score of 3-1 for the Astros. Look at what happened. 3-1 for the Dodgers. So check this out. Number 31 is who hit the home run to make it 3-1. And that score, as you read it, it's a lot like 1-3, 13. LA equals 13. When the score was made 1-3, it was hit off the sixth pitch of the reliever. 13's the sixth prime. This was Game 6. Justin Verlander equals 66. He came out in inning 6 of Game 6. So LA wins Game 6. And in Gematria, Game 6 equals 33. The series is now tied at 3-3. Somebody actually pointed this out. They said, Zach, Game 6 equals 33. Does that mean it'll be 3-3? Well, it ended up being that. But you can't always make judgments that way because think about how many World Series games and NBA championships games get closed out in Game 6. So you can't just say because Game 6 equals 33 that the game's necessarily going to go 3-3. It did in this case. So with regards to it going to Game 7, before the World Series began, I predicted that it would end in Game 5 or Game 7. And I got a lot of flack for calling Verlander winning in Game 6. People said, what happened to your Game 5 or Game 7 prediction? I said, well, Verlander ended up on the mound and I thought it was all scripted around him. So anyhow, now that we're going to Game 7, a reminder. This is the Element series. Houston flooded, LA burned. In Gematria, fire equals 43. Somebody's going to win this series 4-3. The word element equals 34. Self-explanatory. The storm that flooded Houston was Harvey, 3-4. When it comes to the elements, water beats fire. Water puts out fire. Marty, who comments on every video and who watches all my videos, he said, yeah, but to the psychopaths, they love fire way more. And something I've been thinking about is how the manager of the Dodgers, he's part Japanese. Japan was firebombed in 45. Major League equals 45. All of these games are scripted in accordance with what's going on in the news, what's going on in world history. It's something to think about. So I liked the score to be 4 runs tonight because it would put it at 62 total runs, and flood equals 62 in Hebrew. Houston flooded while the mayor was 62 years old. The mayor was the 62nd mayor. He is the 62nd mayor. So I was right. I mean, the game did end at 4 runs. It just went the other way. And people have been pointing out, hey, Zach, the Dodgers wear blue. That's kind of like water. But, it's a good point. But, LA burned, Houston flooded. Then again, somebody also pointed out that the Astros colors are orange and red, kind of like fire. This is where things can get dicey. The point is to see how the games are scripted. I talked about how coming into this game, there were 58 total runs scored, and tonight's game was on a date with 58 numerology. Behind the starting plate was umpire number 58, and the starting pitcher for the Dodgers, Hill, he came out after his 58th pitch. How perfect. As I always explain, these games are scripted from the final score to the box score. Understanding the games are scripted, is something that everybody should get. I've said it a million times. Just because you know the game's scripted doesn't mean you can always predict the right outcome. And for anyone who wants to hate, have you guys seen what I've done on primetime football this year? I have 1 wrong prediction. I have about 20 correct picks and 1 wrong prediction. Most of what I pick is correct. And I did say in August and September I liked a Astros over Dodgers World Series. I could get it backwards. We'll find out tomorrow. And to me, it's not that big of a deal. If I lost people money, I apologize. I don't want to lose you guys money. I want to help you guys out. But the main point of the work is so people understand these games are scripted and they stopped investing in them. You're giving your money to tyrants when you support these games. So, as I pointed out, Halloween equals 41, plus the date is 10 plus 31, 41. The home team won on Halloween. Home equals 41. USA equals 41. 41 the 13th prime, 13 stripes, 13 stars, 13 colonies. LA equals 41. LA also equals 13. Very 13 city. Houston has the gematria 41. Verlander became 4-1 in the postseason, getting the loss tonight. For Game 7, the date numerology, 49. 49, the square root of is 7. You know, Game 7, perfect date. It's also a date with 13 numerology. And based on the pattern, LA's been getting the big 13 tributes. But will they get it in Game 7? We'll see. 13's the 7th Fibonacci number. But you could make an argument that it belongs to Houston too because they have the gematria 41 the 13th prime. Have to look at the starting pitchers tomorrow. I don't know who they are yet. November, as it happens, has gematria 41. 41. Just talked about it. 94 is also a biggie. Last year I talked about why the Cubs would win in Game 7 way before the World Series began, before the playoffs even started. It was all about 94. If you write out 94 as a word, it sums to 147, like Freemason, like conspiracy, like World Series. The word master builder equals 147. The Freemasons, builders, master builder is 22, the number 22 in numerology. Houston Astros also have this gematria of 147. They've never won the World Series before. It's because the Yankees have won almost all of them. But look at this. I talked about how Verlander, his alignment for tonight's game was perfect with time. It was his 61st day of being an Astro. The word time equals 61. 61's the 18th prime. Baseball equals 18. Think about Maris hitting 61 home runs in the year 61. 93 is the number that represents Saturn, the keeper of time. So Verlander throwing 93 pitches was definitely part of the script. And this is the way it was scripted. He was meant to lose tonight. With regards to 93 as well, it represents Saturn. Saturn equals 93, and it's the 6th planet from the sun. Game 6. Next guy comes in and throws 13 pitches. Next guy 18, then 9. Just said baseball equals 18. Numerology of 9. 9 innings in a complete game. So here's Rich Hill. 58 pitches. 45 for strikes. Major League 45. These guys are the best players in the world. They can follow the script. 4.2 innings. Remember, this World Series began on Jackie Robinson's birthday. Or not his birthday, the day he died, October 24th. He wore 42. Jackie in gematria equals 42. A lot of words that have to do with black Americans. Black history equal 42. The only month that sums to 42 is February, Black History Month. Jansen. In the video I made about Jansen giving up the 33rd pitch, I talked about how he wears the number 74 and how it represented Jesus being crucified on the cross because Jesus was a black man. And I talked about Tupac and his death and the album Machiavelli of him on the cross. Tonight, with Jansen walking off the field, Joe Buck yelled out, "They're playing Tupac." Tupac equals 74, just like Machiavelli. Jansen's number 74 right on the screen. It's a sick joke, you guys. It's a sick joke, and they do it again and again. This is why so many rappers have been killed by the number 74. The word rapper is also 74. Joe Buck is a sick man. He says these kind of subtle things out all the time in games where if you know the language, you see what he's talking about. And this is more important than who wins the game. The point is to see how sick these leagues are. Not only are they rigged, but sick jokes are going on like this. It's not a funny joke when you know what it is. When you know how many people have been killed by that number. When you know that really they're mocking the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Somebody said, hey, I just typed in Machiavelli and it doesn't equal 74. You have to look at the way Tupac spelled the name. Look up his album cover, Machiavelli, where he's on the cross. M-A-K-A-V-L-I. Machiavelli that way, 74. Last year, on the real Machiavelli's birthday, it was the news that Tupac's mother had died. Used to have a video up on that, but Google deleted my channel. So they had 117 pitches. If you write out 13 as a word, it sums to 117. 9 times 13 is 117. 9 innings in baseball. 88 for strikes. California equals 88. The World Series, the last one they won was in 88. The World Series began this year on the partial collapse of the economy 88 years earlier. Dollar equals 88. The Astros had 33 at-bats tonight, 33, and the Dodgers had 28. What's funny about these two numbers is if you write them out as words, 28 is a word, 33 is a word, they both sum to 141, and this happened yesterday in basketball. Golden State scored 141 over Los Angeles, 113. This is the 113th World Series. Remember, beards equals 113. This is the World Series of big beards. From the day that Golden State won their championship to tonight's game was 141 days. How interesting, you know? Today that thing happened in New York. New York equals 111. Tomorrow's game will be November 1st. The witness was wearing the Astros hat. Manhattan equals 92 like Astros. It's hard to say where they're going with that riddle. This will be the first ever Game 7 in the history of Dodger Stadium. Here's why that's interesting. 17, the year we're in, is the 7th prime. Dodger Stadium equals 59. 59 is the 17th prime. So we're getting a Game 7 and 17 in Dodger Stadium. 59, the 17th prime. 17, the 7th prime. 59, also the other number stamped on black people throughout history. The World Series began on Jackie Robinson's death anniversary, and his son died by the number 59. I used to have a video on that. After the game, or the ninth inning, the first out was number 9. I'll just show you guys this real quick. If you write out 13, has gematria of 99 and 117, as well as 45 like Major League Baseball. The World Series began on the 45-year anniversary of the death of Jackie Robinson. I want to bring up this extra cipher so you can appreciate this. If we write out the United States of America, 99 and 117. 13 colonies, 13 stripes, 13 stars. You see? After they won Game 6, the camera followed Puig in all the way from the outfield. Game 6, 66. October equals 666. Game 5 that the Astros won, before the Astros knocked in the winning run, the camera was sitting on Puig and he was in the outfield with his hat off. I mean, who takes off their hat before the game's over with the game on the line? They do this stuff on purpose. It's to mock the fans, to see who's paying attention. And for the racist fan who they know's out there, they'll say, look at that dumb N-word. He's already got his hat off and the game's not even over. Millionaire. They don't realize. You know, Puig was told. Somebody's probably signaling on the nose, the elbows. Probably means take off your hat and look like an idiot out there. So that number 33, Bregman 33, just show you, can hit in the game winner on the 33rd pitch off number 74. And look at this. We'll just do it. Jesus, 74. You can do it Jesus Christ, 74. Cross, 74. Messiah, 74. Gospel, 74. Parables, 74. Tupac, what Joe Buck wanted to yell out, 74. And Machiavelli, look it up, Machiavelli album cover, 74. That's why Joe Buck yelled out that he was wearing, or that Tupac was playing. And you know what he did? Was it last year? It was 2 years ago in the World Series. He yelled, truck went out. I'll never forget it. Truck went out. He did that after the game came back from a delay on the 47th pitch. Supposedly the Fox News truck, their power went out and they had to delay the game after the 47th pitch. 47, reflection of 74. They love these numbers. These are huge numbers to Freemasonry. Joe Buck, as soon as it came back, his first words out of his mouth, truck went out. I mean, who says that? Why not say it in a complete sentence? The game was delayed because the truck went out. Well, I don't need to explain to you why he said truck went out. It's because it's what he always does. It's what he does every week with every game. You learn the code. You pay attention to what the idiot Joe Buck's saying. He's mocking the fans every time. These people know this code. So the games are scripted. You know, I can't tell you why Verlander didn't win it tonight. I mean, the way it was all lined up, the way these things normally go, he should have won it. I've said that they can't flip the script. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, it couldn't have been lined up any more perfect for Verlander tonight. Houston would have got their 112th win. Houston equals 112, and it would have been 112 days from Verlander's birthday, or a span of 113 days for the 113th World Series. You know, he was posing with the Bushes last game. Bush 58, George W. Bush 58. But that's not the way it was. That's not the way it was. But understand, the thing to understand is the script. The games are scripted. The news is scripted. You guys want to see something sick? GoFundMe had a GoFundMe up for this thing that happened in Manhattan today 29 days before it happened. And in Gematria, Manhattan equals 29 and 92. And they had this fan with the Astros hat. Let's see. Let me see here. Where did I put this at? Right here. Astros hat fan in New York. You know, Manhattan Astros happened on Chambers Street 33, like Game 6. Now the series is 3-3. I don't know who's going to win for sure tomorrow night. But the fact that the Dodgers used to be in New York, you know, before I was very confident that the Astros would win this World Series. I'm just being honest. I'm not as confident anymore. You know, maybe they're not going to win because it was all about Verlander and he didn't get it tonight. His team can pick it up for him tomorrow. He can still get it. You know, they like to extend out these series, rake in the dough, get the commercials out there. They're raising money for the man-made storms they created. But if you don't see that these games are scripted, you know, then you must just be a troll down in my comments section. So, apologies if you lost on my advice. I really did think it was a lock for the Astros to win tonight. So, I am surprised there. But the games are scripted. That's what counts. And more important than that, knowing this knowledge, it'll let you see what you need to see. Like the sick jokes with Kelly Jansen and Tupac. And I did just talk about Tupac and Kelly Jansen days ago when I put out the video before this even happened, you know. So you win some, you lose some, truth seeker. Until next time.